Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with King. This is not intended as financial advice. Please do your due diligence before making any decisions based on this information. So we are going to go ahead and get started here, guys. Again, I do have the chat open. If you have any coins or anything along those lines that you want me to take a look at for you, I can do that. Just give me a little bit of time and I will get over to it. I will make sure to keep an eye on the box. So if there's anything you guys want to take a look at, let me know, and we'll definitely jump into that for you. So, anyways, so let's jump in over what happened over the weekend. Hope you guys had a great weekend. It was a good football weekend, and I spent some time with the kids, so it was fun. But outside of all that, let's jump right into it here. So right now we're looking at the hourly chart on, oops, whoa, what just happened there? Whoa, we like zoomed in a ton there. Alright, so anyway, we're looking at the, okay, something, alright, why does it keep doing that? Okay. Alrighty. Alright, so looking at the 1 hour chart for Bitcoin. Again, the TSI is neutral. We've kind of been bouncing around in there over the weekend. You know, we did have this little symmetrical triangle here that we were painting, and we broke out of it yesterday. I caught a nice little quick short scalp here. And now it's looking like it's coming back up. But if we pull it out here, you've got your MA, your 50 MA, and your 100 MA about to cross down, bearish crossover. So we need to watch that. I was really hoping for us to shoot up to 69.7K for a good short. It's still possible, but it looks like 68.50 areas was the best that we were going to get. You know, now that it's so high up, I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time with it not testing this 618 level, which we've done on pretty much every bounce. You know, so on every major drop, I showed this in a previous chart, and I have it. I can dig it out if you guys want to see it. But every bounce that Bitcoin has made, actually, no, let's just look at it real quick. I can show you right now. If we don't have, you know, chart problems and internet being super slow on us, then I'll show you. I don't know what the deal is or why I've been having these issues lately, but lately my computer's been very slow. Okay. Yeah, see, we're still sitting here frozen, you know. Jesus. Well, anyway, while that loads up, basically what I was saying is every bounce that we've had and every drop that we've had this year, anyway, I haven't really looked back at previous years, but this year anyway, let's see if this came up yet. No. Every bounce has either been a 618 bounce or a 0.5 bounce. On the fib levels, every single one of them, from all-time high to now. So, you know, we have had one of these little 5 bounces before, so this is very, very possible that this is the end of it. But I was really shooting for that 69 to 7,000 range for, you know, like the ultimate short signal there is. So, you know, that's the way I look at it. I think that it's going to fall. I've been saying it for a while. I still believe that we're going to test a lower low. Nothing about this entire move to me has been bullish. So, you know, we'll just have to look at that. Yeah, just I don't know why. You know, I'm not minding anything on my PC, so I don't know what the deal is. It's been frustrating. You know, we'll have to figure that out. But yeah, it's crazy too. Yesterday I went through and did a bunch of cleanup on it. And got rid of a bunch of programs I didn't need anymore. You know, I did a lot of writing back in the day with these bots. I was trying to, you know, do a lot of tweaking to them and, you know, just make them better. And I had millions of different programs installed for it all. And now I've got them all gone. So hopefully that helps it out. But we'll see. I don't know what the deal is. But so anyway, we've never broke that level. So, you know, that's why I was hoping for us to get up to that 618 fib level so that we could, you know, be very, very confident in the short. It still could. I mean, when you look at the chart, it's, you know, riding the top channel of this bear flag, basically. You know, it's broke out a little bit, but again, it's been resisted at the 0.5 fib level. I really wish this chart would load up here for me so I could see it. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys too and show you is the shorts, man. Man, they came down fast. So now we can fall. You know, there's no reason for a short squeeze. There's no reason for any of that. So we should, at this point in time, be ready to fall now. But you just never know. So it's hard to tell in this market right now. We've had a lot of movement. But so here's the fibs that I was showing you guys. Now on this fib, if you look, I mean, we've gone over this before, so it's not that big of a deal. So when we dropped from the high at 20,000 area down to 10.8 or so, our bounce on that was at the 618 level. It never really closed. It did close above it, but for one day, and it fell back down. So 618 level was tested. Okay, now from the drop from 17.4 or so down to 5.6, our rebound was to the 0.5 fib level. All right. Now from our drop here at 11.5 or so, back down to 6K again, the rebound on that was to the 6.185 level. Or 0.618. Sorry, guys. All right. Now our drop from there down to our 6K again, or our 57, that was the farthest we've gone. That was the lowest of the lowest low of the year. Our bounce back again on that drop was to the 6.185 or 6.18 fib level. Okay, same thing happened here. Okay, your next drop from there to here, you got rejected right at the 6.185 fib level. So now we're looking at this run up to this drop, which somehow this fib got messed up on here. I haven't used this chart in a minute, but let's just make it right. So our initial drop, let's just call it the very bottom of the drop, which would have been there. That was a fake spike, so let's call that there. And our top was about there. So again, now we're rejected at the 0.5 fib level. I was really hoping to see us go up to the 6. Now it's possible, you know, don't rule it out. It's still there. It's still possible that, you know, we're playing between these two, and now we're going to play between these three. So is there a chance that, you know, yeah, we just, you know, this one doesn't have all the MAs, but this is the 50 MA. And on that last fall we were just rejected there. Okay. In the last 24 hours when we fell last night, we were rejected right at the 50. Okay. So once that breaks on the daily, if we get under the 50 MA again on the daily, we're going to drop hard. And most likely, we will definitely touch the 6K area again, and then most likely break down the descending triangle that we have, which is being painted right here on, oops, which is being painted here on the weekly chart, the daily chart, or any of them charts. So I've been redrawing this triangle every chance I get, just trying to make sure that it's as precise as possible. So right now, it's saying that our bottom is 60.59 or so is where our, you know, solid support has been throughout the entire year. So let's see. I still expected, you know, I thought that we would probably get a nice little green, you know, a green candle here and then red, red. And we ended up getting, green candle here and then red, red. And that didn't happen. But what did happen is we had a green 1, a green 2 above a green 1, which gives you a buy signal with the sequential system. Problem is when you look at the 1, 2s and the 3s and the 1, 2s on all of these drops, none of them have really came 4. You know, then you had a 2, then you got to a green 1. So I don't believe that we make a green 3. I just don't. I mean, it's possible, and then we drop the following week. But I'm thinking that this week right here may be the bloody week. But it's hard to tell. We'll see what it decides to do. If it's not, it can be your 3 green, above a green 2, which I believe, you know, I don't trade on 3s and 4s. So stay away from 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s, okay? They're just not worth it. You don't know what's going to happen. It's always a green 2 above a green 1, but on these larger time frames, obviously, look at the pattern. It doesn't look like a safe trade, okay? So, personally, I would just wait for the 7K level if we get there, okay? If not, wait for it to fall and break the bottom of this candle. If it can break 64.80, you should have a great short down. But we could also see, like we did here, is get an engulfing candle that kills both of these and drops. So let's watch it. It's possible. The RSI has stayed pretty neutral throughout this entire fall from 85. So think about that. It's very, very flat on the weekly. Okay, let's go to the daily. On the daily, on the daily again. Tomorrow or today in about 3.5 hours, this should switch to a red 1. Okay, the next day should be a red 1 down, and that's because it's not gonna open. Or sorry, it's not gonna open. Oh no, wait, no, it could be a green 5. No, because it's got to be 4 candles back. Yeah, so it'll open below the 4th candle back. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. So no. It won't. It could be a green 4, which again gives you that possibility of testing that 618 level. So we need to just be patient here. Let's not rush it. But your daily is kind of starting to turn on your TSI. Not really oversold though. It didn't get to an oversold level. So does it creep back up and hit it to get and at least touch an oversold level? We'll see. But even our run here up to the 70 something didn't get oversold. And when we ran to 85, we barely got oversold on the daily. So, but that's all it takes on the daily chart. So let's see. Again, your volume is still not increasing, still trending down. Price is going up. You know, so you've got a a bearish divergence there. Let's see. Let's go down to the 4-hour chart. Now this is where it starts to get interesting. Now the 4-hour chart, we're fighting that 200 MA was just rejected there. Okay. The other thing that we have to be careful and cautious of is this is why I use so many different indicators. You got your sequential system that's calling this a 9 bottom right now, okay, which means that this is very possible that this next 2 candles or so could be a green 1, green 2. If so, this could go bullish for a little while longer up to that 7,000 mark. So again, that's why I'm saying we need to be a bit patient. Obviously, we won't know for about 8 hours. Actually 12 hours before the next 2 candles fall out. And this could even also, be a really red 9 down to test the 100 or the 50 MA at 6,500. So we need to see what happens. Right now, the bulls have been holding 6,500 pretty well, so let's just see what happens. No rush. Okay, we'll jump back down to the hourly. We check the hourly. Let's look at the long shorts, just so you guys can see what's happened here. So obviously this was a short all-time high. We never hit it again, but we did hang around there for the last few weeks. So when we dropped here in September, into August, September, shorts crashed, or they ended up taking profit. This time I think they're getting squeezed out or they're getting scared out. So it's hard to tell what's going on. But again, they're back to, on BitMEX even, they're back to basically 50-50, which is good. They're not quite 50-50, but they're close. This is the Blockchain Whisper site. They do have their long shorts on here. I like to check their total number. And again, longs are outweighing shorts by 10%. Alright. Dominance is at 52.9%, so let's see what it decides to do. Alright, let's check out your oscillators. Alright, so XBT on the 1 hour, your Stoch is definitely in the obviously overbought area. Your RSI is neutral, your CCI is neutral, your TSI is neutral. You had a bullish crossover here on the MACD, but very weak. Very weak. It's already starting to turn down, so we need to see what happens there. Your CMF has just been sideways over the weekend. Not much. You had a little bit of new money come in, but obviously it came out pretty quick. If you look at this chart over, let's see here, that one? Yeah, there we go. Again, if you look at your chart since you could go all the way back to July, since that big run up, and the denial happened with the ETF, you've been at a steady decrease line here. So CMF, and this is just on the hourly chart, but even on the hourly chart, you're creating lower highs all the way around. I just believe that new money's not coming in right now. It's proven it's not happening, so let's see. Just keep an eye on that. But it is obviously trending in the wrong direction. Okay, same thing with your momentum. It's on its way down. So, you know, it's kind of 50-50 here. You don't really know. I mean, the oscillators don't tell us much on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, saying that it is oversold, but again, your RSI is neutral. Your TSI is creeping back towards neutral. You had a bearish crossover. About 12 hours ago or so. Again, your momentum's weak, and your CFM is following the same downtrend line. So that's kind of that. That's kind of the story there. Let's check the daily. So on your daily, you're oversold, neutral, neutral, neutral. MACD's turning, momentum is down. CMF has obviously been in a free fall for a while there. So that is that. Oh, nice. 2 MAs on here. Alright, let's delete that. BB is what we want to look at. Then our stop and reverse points. Of course. Alright. So again, the price is squeezing. The BB is squeezing the price down on the daily. So let's watch and see what happens here. Again, we are having a little bit of support at the 50-day moving average. Also, you have your 20-day moving average, which is the middle of the BB, which I believe we should easily be able to go and test, which is 64.66. So we'll just have to see what happens. Sometimes when the price gets squeezed from the top side, it likes to follow the BB up. So let's see what happens there. Your stop and reverse points, you have your stop points that are at 61.47 now. So obviously that's it's becoming stronger resistance here. You've got the BB bottom there. You've got your stop points there. And you also got the bottom of your triangle somewhere around in that area as well. So we need to see what's going to happen, but I do believe that we should come back and test that at this point. But it's hard to tell with the way that the BB looks on the daily. Let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hour chart. Again, price is being squeezed again. So again, it's hard to tell in this position right now. It could go either way. But you are seeing a 9 red on the bottom here, which again is telling you to take profit in your shorts if you're short. So let's see what happens over the next few hours. Check the 12-hour chart, you did have a daily candle close, or a 12-hour chart full candle close outside of the BB, then it came back in and now it's falling. There is a possibility that we see your 50 MA cross back below your 20 MA, and then obviously possibly come and touch the bottom. Your stop and reverse points are at 63.40 here, so stop points there. But this could easily, you know, it's up above the 50 MA now. Let's see if it holds on the 12-hour. You still got 3 hours left in this candle, so if it closes below that 50, I'm going to short it. Just saying. Let's see here. So, I mean, that's kind of the BB idea. Let's look at the weekly chart on the BB. I've been going back and forth to this chart for a while now. Slow again. Oh, come on. Now I'm frozen all the way. Great. Just what we needed. So in the meantime, I mean, even if you look at this, why it's... Oh, there we go. It's still kind of frozen on me. But either way, you still have that middle BB line, which is your 20-week moving average. And again, it's played as very strong resistance in the past lately. So we need to just keep that in mind, that that is very possible. Again, we're going black, so we just need to see what happens. But okay, so you got your 20-week moving average here. Again, that's riding at the 6,900 level to 7,000 level. That's again reason why I thought, well, you know, you've already came up this high, you might as well test it. So we should. I don't see why we don't test it. But then again, we've had a chance here where we almost tested it, and maybe that was the test, and maybe that's the same that's happening here. So we need to just be careful. Again, on your weekly chart, you've got a red 1. If we get a red 2 under a red 1, then this is an amazing short signal. We didn't get the red 2 under the red 1 here like we thought we should have. Same thing here. This was a price flip, so we got to see what happens. But if that does become a red 2, I get in, and then obviously your stop loss is at your swing high. For those of you that don't know how to use the sequential system. So let's say this closes as a red 1 next week, and the red 2 starts back up. You have your red 2 under a red 1. You're going to enter your trade once it's a red 2 under a red 1, and then you're going to have a stop loss at your swing high. Okay? So just keep an eye on those. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, cybersecurity. We're trying to make these videos better and you know, get some more followers here, so we're working on it. We're working on trying to get it right. So again, I'm going to start making some videos on how to use the sequential system, and you know, just on other TA videos, different indicators, and you know, spend 30-40 minutes going over each one of them, and you know, just so that people can start to learn the idea of how to use some of these indicators, what they need, and how to kind of get a good idea between all, you know, all 500,000 of them, and how to use them best and what works for you and your style of trading. You know, there's a lot of different styles of trading. So if you're obviously a scalper, then the sequential system works really good on the 1 and 5, you know, and you know, 15-minute even chart. So well, let's just look at it real quick. I might as well just talk about it for a second while we're here. So if you look at your sequential system on your 1-hour chart, or no, wait, this is your 5-minute chart. So here you had so you had a fall off, right? Gave you a red 1, but you didn't get a red 2. So, but you did get a red. Then you got a green 2 above a green 3 above a green 2. So in my eyes, I would almost look at this as a green 1 and a green 2. If you look at it that way, that gives you a bullish signal. Okay. which would have given you a pretty nice jump here. Again, if you were to enter this trade, say you enter here, okay? Okay, come on. Okay, so let's say you entered your trade here on a long basis, okay? You entered your long here, so your stop would be your previous swing low. So if that's your previous swing low, I would put my stop right here, okay? So that's kind of how you would use the sequential system. Now, obviously, in this particular run here, this would have paid off if you would have looked at it that way. Now, I only look at it that way because I've used it a little while. So, you know, the reason I look at it that way is I had a full candle close out of the BB, okay? Then you had a nice little bit more of a run up here, and then you had a 7 at the top. Now, it's not a 9, it's not as pretty as a 9, but then it was a red 7 coming down. Then you have this nice red 1, and it closes down here. I may have even entered trade there, but using the sequential system, I would say this would be a red 1, or a green 1 over a green 2 over a green 1. That's how I would have traded this. Okay, if I was scalping on the 5-minute chart, I would have traded this, and then obviously you would have got to a green 2. Then you would have seen this green 3 come back up. As soon as I would have seen this long upper shadow, I probably would have just took profit, okay, in this particular trade. Now let's look at it a different way if we were going to short it. Okay, so right here, for instance, you're dropping down, you got a lot of price flipping going on, right? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1, 1, 1. 4 ones in a row is bad. Stay away, don't touch it, right? So now, if you took this trade, okay, looking at this chart here, we're just looking back, right? So let's say you did take this trade here, right? And you got a red 1, and then you got your green 1, right? And the green 1 didn't flip red because it always counts 4 candles back, okay? If it doesn't close below 4 candles back, then it won't price flip, okay? This one did. 1, 2, 3, 4, closed beneath the 3rd candle, price flip, okay? So here, this candle didn't close below the 1, 2, 3, 4th candle back, which would have been right here, so it didn't give us a red 2. All right, but we did get under the BB, so I would have took that into consideration. We got under the BB middle. Okay, so just think about that. Now, your next candle flips and it rejects there, immediate, right here. Okay, red 1, red 2 under a red 1 is how I would have looked at it. Okay, or you could either play the red 2 under the red 1. Let's say you didn't even look at it that way and you played it like you should. Red 2 under a red 1, right? So let's say you entered a short trade right here, okay, which is about 66.31, okay. Now your stop loss is obviously going to be at your previous swing high, so I ought to put it right here, okay. There's your stop loss, okay. Your stop loss never got hit in this run back up. It was rejected at the middle of the BB again, okay. Now it fell back down. Again, full candle outside of the BB closed, okay? Most likely with that happening, depending on what this candle did. Now, if I seen it drop and then come back, most likely I took profit, right? Most likely I would take profit here. Swing trading, okay? If you're swing trading, I would have took profit here, okay? Now, you look at here. You got your 7. Now you got a price flip. 4 candles back, closed above it because your price flipping up. Green, green 1, green 2, green 3, green 4, 1, 1, 1. Now, again, on the 5-minute chart, we're looking at this. If this is a green 2 above a green 1, let's say we enter this trade, okay? Let's just say we enter this trade. So let's say we enter the trade here, okay? At 66.26 area, about right now. Let's say we enter that trade now. Where do we put our stop loss? Well, we take our stop at our previous swing low. And I would do it probably, I wouldn't do it down here. I would do it at the bottom of these closing candles. Man, that's my stop loss, okay? So now on the 5-minute chart, if I'm still with you in, let's say, 10 minutes, we'll come back and check it out. let's say we entered a long trade right now on this particular strategy. If we do, on the 5-minute chart, let's see what it does. Okay, because if this is a green 2 above a green 1, there's a good chance that we could get a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 back to the top of the BB at 66.39. Okay, now again, these are small movements, but you're playing the 5-minute chart. This is for scalping. This is for quick, you know, most likely most people using a higher leverage, quick trade, make some quick money, you know, $38 move and get out. Okay, so that's kind of how the sequential system would work on the 5-minute chart, using it more of the hourly. But basically, the same strategy I just went over with you is what you would use on the daily chart, the weekly chart, any of the other charts. Obviously, I don't like it on the weekly chart and the daily chart. You know, at this point, just where Bitcoin's at, we've been in a strong bear market, so we're getting a lot of price flips between weeks. But we'll just have to check it out and see what happens. But that's kind of the idea behind it. And you can do the same thing. Like I said, let's just look at the 4-hour chart for instance. Actually, let's look at the 1-hour chart. You get a better read on numbers here. Okay. So, again, on the hourly chart, we have to come back to right here. Okay, so now I'm using the sequential system on the hourly chart. So when you're watching the hourly chart, now let's say that you're watching it here, and let's just go back to September 18th. Okay, oh wait, September 23rd. Okay, you had a green 6 that popped up out of the top of the BB. Okay, it came back in, gave you a 7, 8, 9. The reason it gave you a 9 is because it didn't close lower than the 4th candle back, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? It didn't give you that green. It didn't give you a price flip yet. So it gave you a red 9 or a green 9 signal to sell short. Okay. So now what you do is you get your green 9, but you don't buy in right away. You wait. So then you get your green 1 or your red 1, right? Then you got your red 2 under your red 1. Now this is up to you on where to enter this trade at, okay? But either way, green 1, green 2, or red 1, red 2, right? So obviously right off the bat, your stop loss is at your swing high, okay? Then if it was me trading it and I was watching this on the 1-hour chart, and you know, me personally, I like to trade more midterm or so because I don't have to watch it all the time. But if I'm just going to sit here and watch the chart all day long and stare at it, then you can use some of these strategies. So, come on. All right. So anyway, your stop loss is here, right? Now, once I seen the red 2 start, you see it went up. Okay, now once you see it get rejected and it starts pushing down, now this candle, if I remember correctly, was kind of fast, so it wasn't like you would have been able to get in right away, right? But if you were able to, I would have got in the second it broke this line, okay? So, because now I'm getting a red 2 under a red 1 no matter what happens, okay? Because it's below this candle, okay? So red 2 below a red 1, so that's basically what I would have done, is I would have said, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Honestly, this candle only had a close below there for it to be considered a red 2. Okay? But I like to see it close below the red 1 line. So let's just say that if it closed there, you could have even set this trade up. Okay? Okay, so then I would have set this trade up right here. Alright, probably somewhere around here is where I would have want to bought in. But I would have waited for the BB, so I probably would have put a buy in here. Alright, so now let's say you bought in here. Well, obviously, you could have took profit here or waited. Because this green 2 signal gave you all kinds of price flips, no 9s, no movement. And it ended up coming down to here. So now, if it was me and you're watching it quickly and you take profit fast, the next hour candle, you probably would have took profit somewhere right here when you seen that it didn't get a new lower low. Now, if you were waiting for the longer term, expecting that to be the high, which it basically called the high there, and it almost called the high here. So you had a little bit of room, but the 9s are both closing at the same area. So you're kind of finding a high here, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. That's how I look at it. So here you fell. I would have held this a little while, came back down, and most likely you could still ride it down more depending on what's going to happen in the midterm. So, or even the more longer term. So anyway, that's what I would have done, is I would have entered my trade there, and I would have took profit either here, or you could have waited it out because your swing high is still up here, so you're not worried about your stop. Come back down, you could have rode this down and took profit somewhere in here. And you might have even took profit somewhere in this candle, okay? But for me, I wouldn't have, because I'm looking at this as a red 2 under a red 1 again. So this is another good trade. So even if you waited it out, and let's say you didn't get back into it that day, and you decided that you were going to get in here. So again, you got a red 1. You didn't get the red 2 under the red 1, but it price flipped, but it kept coming down. So you're watching this. This is giving you an eye on it. Okay, a red 1, right? A green 1 with no power, didn't get above your red 1. And then you got a green 2 that's below a green 1. So I'm going to watch this. Then you're going to get a price flip, obviously, right? This candle went down underneath here, so you got a price flip. If you were watching the chart, you would see this price flip. So you would say, okay, awesome. If we get a red 2 under a red 1, it's a great short signal, right? So the red 2 comes down, and I'm going to set my buy somewhere at the bottom of that candle. Okay? I'm going to try and get in right here. Right? And you're going to set your stop, again, at your previous swing high. Which is going to be, come on. Come on, why are you doing that? There we go. So I'm going to set my stop right here. Okay? And that's kind of how you're going to do it. So on the hourly chart, you're risking 60, 70, about $45 in this trade for, depending on leverage, the possibility of, just on this one candle, in this particular trade, if you look at it, for 48 for about 100, so 60 to 40 ratio. I'll take that all day. So, you know, this is just trading it. Again, don't just go jump on the trades and start doing it. Watch it, learn it a little bit more, pay attention to how the sequential system works. Okay, and that'll help you to get a better idea of what's going on. Okay, see, and you can play it both ways. So even in this fall, you had a red 9 telling you that it was a green up, right? Now here, obviously, you never got your price flip, but you had a green 1, and then this green 1, or then it's price flipped, right? Because it didn't break the top, but it's still, in my eyes, it's a green 1, a green 2 above a green 1, right? It closed above the closing line. So for me, this is a decent long position, right? So if you entered here, let's just say you entered here. Let's say you got it in somewhere right there, right? Bam, you enter here, okay? Oh my goodness. Your stop would have been down here at your prior swing low, okay? Now on this, with all these wicks that we had, I would have probably used the wick here. If not, you probably would have used it here, most likely got stopped out, okay? This could have been a bad trade. So, you know, it doesn't always work. So just got to be careful. Now, obviously, if you were a little bit more ballsy and you played the wick, then it would have played off for you. It would have ended up working out. But just keep that in mind, okay? So that's something to look at. That's a little bit of my... I'll give that's a little bit I'll throw you guys for the day with just working on a certain indicator. There's a lot more to the sequential system that we can go over, but either way, I mean, that's just kind of an idea of how that works. So you guys can add that to your toolbox and start trying to learn how to use it. All right. Now let's just go back to our 5-minute trade real quick. Let's go back to our. Oh, I erased all of my. My entries and stuff. So either way, we entered at what? It was a green 2 above green 1. Somewhere around here, right? That's about where we entered at. So let's say we entered there. Let's just put it back real quick. Actually, I'll leave it a little bit higher. Oops. So yeah, we probably, I think it was like about right here is where we thought about it. Now, if you're watching it, again, you're looking at green 1, green 2, green 3. Now, obviously, this green 3 fell all the way back down. So, in my opinion, if this was if this was me, obviously, we still have our stop. Our stop loss is still down here. Okay. Right, our stop's still there. Okay, and it's at the bottom of the BB. And actually, our stop's not there. Our stop would be right here at the bottom of these candles. Okay, so that's our stop. Now, we can watch this for a little while and see what happens. But if it's me trading particularly, I'm seeing that we're having a hard time getting past this 50 MA. So most likely, if it was me, I'd probably get scared out of this trade and get out. Okay. Now, again, we're on the 5-minute chart, so the chances of it breaking above the 20-week or the 20 MA or whatever you want to call it, the 20 MA, the chances of this breaking above that are pretty high, because on the smaller time frames, it's not as strong as a resistance as it is as, like, let's say the hourly or the weekly or anything along those lines. So either way, you could either get scared out of this trade now, or you can just wait it out, because you did get a green 2 above a green 1, which is a pretty strong one. It just got rejected really hard, though. That's the only thing that would scare me out of this scalp trade, depending on the leverage. See, and I probably, like I said, it would have scared me out, and it's moving a little bit here, so we don't know. But if you were holding in, okay, you've got a green 1. Now you're starting, it might have price flipped on you here. Green 1, green 2. Or, sorry, red 1, red 2. So you just got to watch it. There is a chance that that's it. So if it's me, like I said, I probably would have got scared out the second I seen it come back towards my entry. I probably would have just got out right away. All right, because it's not showing that it's working. But now, again, you can automatically throw that trade in the dumpster and boom, start looking for a short trade if that was to go to a red 2. If that stays a red 2, again, you move your stop loss to your previous swing high, okay? Which in this case, I would put right here, the wick and then these 2 closing candles. All right, boom. And enter the short trade right beneath where it needs to go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be a red 2. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be a red 2 no matter what. Okay, but you want it to be red. You don't want it to be a green red 2 on candles. So just watch it. If it ends up falling, then boom, there's a nice short trade, and maybe that works out. Okay, just watch where to trade profit. For me, if I'm watching the 5-minute chart, you know, you might have a stop and reverse point here. It might bounce back, but these candles move so fast. Again, this is scalp trading 101. That's it. So, all right, guys, I got to get moving on for the day. But I just wanted to go over that with you. I do want to show you guys, if you guys do trade stocks as well, that is something that I do through RobinHoodApp. It's free. It's free trading. You can do crypto there as well. You can't transfer your crypto out, but it's only for US and Australia users at the moment. If you guys want to go ahead and get into that and ask questions about that, I do go over some of the stocks as well when asked about them. So I can do that as well. But just check them out. If you use the link that I have here in the bottom, you can get a free stock. We both get a free stock if you sign up to that link, so that'd be awesome. Again, if you don't trade BitMEX and it's something that you want to do or learn how to do, you can follow us, check us out. I can help you out with that. Just PM me on Telegram and I can help you more one-on-one. Outside of that, there is a link here as well for BitMEX as well, so if you want to do that, it gives you 10% off trading fees for 6 months. It helps out our cause, helps with all the free content that we do provide. Outside of that, I do have some affiliate links on our website if you check it out. TradingView, Profit Trailer, Crypto Storm, a few other ones that I use, bots, different things that I use. If you're interested in those things, check them out. We are kind of revamping the webpage, so once you guys give us a few days and check that out, it'll look real cool. So Outside of that, I am going to call this a day, and you guys have a good day. Again, watch out. Be safe out there. I think I'm good. Like I said, my plan is to short the 69 to 7,000 area. I'm not really watching too much of the smaller frames right now, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, don't forget that on the shorter time frames, that these MAs could cross over soon, which could cause a bit more of some downside. So keep that in mind. But outside of that, you guys have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.